What is up, guys? Welcome back to now what is a Major Ben tech video. We have now got a gaming channel and a tech channel. This is the tech channel where I'm going to be talking about the latest gaming news, things like my Steam Deck, testing stuff, and yeah, just talking tech and gaming. So the other gaming channel now, which is just Major Ben Gaming, as this one used to be, is now for my streams, any videos that I want to upload to do with actual gameplay. So I finally figured out that that is what I want to do. So I am very happy with finally that I figured out. But today I wanted to do a month update because it's been a month since I got my Steam Deck, and I want to talk about my personal thoughts and feelings, what I've enjoyed. I want to do a dislikes video in the future where I talk about things I didn't like in the Steam Deck, bugs, issues that I still have, and things I want them to improve on. But this is kind of just where I'm at in the headspace, what I'm enjoying with this device, and what I think of it, honestly. So first of all, I want to talk about the look and the ergonomics of this device, because let me tell you, and I'm being dead honest with you, I've got no reason to lie, that all the hype is gone from me getting this and the anticipation of getting this, because I've owned it now for a month. And honestly, it's not gone. I take it back. It's not gone. The hype is still there because I love this thing so much. Not from, oh, it's like a buyer's thing where I just because I spent so much money on this, I want to make sure that I enjoy it. No, this is now a hype that is driven by the fact that there are so many games that I now want to play on this device. So I am being deadly honest. I have no reason to say that this device is better than anything else for any reason. It's just the fact that I'm in love with this. So ergonomically, this is the most comfortable handheld I have ever used. And in my personal opinion, this device is more comfortable than the Series X controller by a long shot. Obviously, the Series X controller doesn't have the back buttons, but this does. But just forgetting those for a second, this is the most comfortable device I've ever held in my hands. It fits perfectly with my hands. My hands are average size, but you can see when I'm holding this, it just fits so well under my hands. The grips on the back, these grips here, they are soft. They're not like textured like the Series controller. It's like a soft finish, but the actual grip itself, the thickness of it just fits perfectly in the palm of your hand, so you can rest your fingers on the back buttons and they just feel phenomenal. The analog sticks are incredible. They feel so precise and comfortable. It's honestly such a comfortable device to use, and I think for many people who aren't my exact hand size, they will feel the same way. The weight of the device has really not been an issue for me. I played on the Switch a ton, but honestly, there is there is a difference. It's heavier, obviously, it's a bigger device, but it feels so good that kind of retracts from how big and how much heavier it is than the Switch, and you kind of forget about it. I mean, I can hold it in one hand like this, and it does not feel weighty or tiresome in any way. Same with my left hand, like it's not heavy. It doesn't feel heavy to me, and I think that's one thing that I thought when I saw this device. It's so large compared to the Switch. How much heavier is it really going to be? But it's not. It's absolutely not heavier in any way at all in terms of how it feels. So that's been phenomenal. The size I've had zero issues with, again, because of how comfortable this device is. You kind of it kind of retracts from how it feels, like because of the ergonomics of it and how well it's put together. The mouse feels phenomenal. All this movement with touching the trackpads and stuff, I've really got used to using those, even in this mode where you hold the Steam button and you can kind of use the mouse there. It's been phenomenal to use. So that's in terms of ergonomics, how I personally feel about this device. I've loved using it. I've used it for many hours on end, playing various different titles, and I've loved it every single second through and through. So in terms of the UI, let's talk about the UI, and then we'll go into gameplay, and that'll kind of round it up. I don't want to make this ridiculously long. It's kind of my first impressions after a month of use, this is. So the UI, phenomenal, really easy to use. You've got your library section. It's very clear on what's good on deck in your library, what games you've got as in everything, what's installed, the collections that you set up, like I have my launchers in there, and any non-Steam stuff that you have installed. So that's kind of everything in that part. Really easy to use, really basic. You've got a search bar at the top. The store is really good. I really enjoy the store. I find it sad that it is a web browser. For example, if I scroll down here to Terraria, click on it, and then go back out to Terraria, it's going to have to reload the page, and as you can see, you're back on top. So that annoys me, but the layout is cool. You've got all your Steam Deck verified titles right on the front of the homepage of this Steam store, which is brilliant. I love that. I love that it's all there right in front of you. Any game that you want to play on Steam for the Steam Deck is all, you know, slap bang on the front page. You've got all your different, you know, search bits there, your store, home, categories, search, and then your wish list as usual as well. And something that's really good, some people might be wondering, if you go on the wish list, it will show the signs of each verified title. As you can see, not all, my bad, I didn't mean to do that, go back. Not all these titles obviously verified. Some have ticks, some have exclamation marks, some have question marks, and it's good that you can see very clearly before even having to click on that game that it's all there. Friends and chat, I honestly can't say I've used that, so I'm sorry if that bothers anybody, but I have not used that. The downloads tab obviously is where you download stuff. You've got it up here as well, and you can click on it to get a quick shortcut to the downloads tab. Everything's very clear on what's here. One complaint for me here is in the downloads itself is the speed of it. First of all, is a massive issue in my opinion. My internet is phenomenally fast. This isn't actually downloading, it's patching a game, but it's very slow. Everything is done very slowly, including the download speed when I have very fast fiber gigabit internet, and the download speed is still very slow. So that is an issue that many people, not just myself, are having. It's an issue. Apologies for my cat scratching in the background, but she's so cute, I cannot tell her off. But yeah, that is something that's a problem, and it has been from the start. You also, every time you reboot the device, it will have to install the shaders for each game, and that can be very tiresome as well, and that's some things I want to talk about in a future video. So the settings menu, everything is very clearly laid out. We did actually have an update yesterday adding the security features where you have like a lock screen now that you can customize. I haven't actually gone into that too much yet because it was a very new feature, as I say, that was added yesterday. But everything is great. The system settings are fantastic. It's clear where you get your updates. I think that when you install your micro SD card, it doesn't appear here at first, so it won't be straight away on that section. You have to actually go to your system settings all the way at the top, go down to format, and I feel like it should, when inserting the SD card, tell you, do you want to format this SD card? Because otherwise it won't be used, and people who don't necessarily know what to do, they are going to have to go and figure out where to format it and where to do all that kind of stuff if they know even what to do with it. And they just may expect when you plug it in, like the Switch does, to have a pop-up saying format and everything will work from there, but it doesn't tell you anything. It just shows a little exclamation mark next to an SD card icon at the top. So that's something they should definitely work on. Bluetooth has been great. I've got my Sony's connected up, as you can see, or they're not connected right now, but that's what I use, and it instantly, as soon as they turn on, they're connected directly to this device. Despite also being connected to stuff like my iPhone, it's very easy to switch between with the Sony's, and they do it flawlessly. I love that this works so well compared to the Switch, which was without Bluetooth for a very long time, which was a shame. But everything else here has been phenomenal. I've really enjoyed that. The settings is great. The UI is phenomenal. I love it. I love that in-game you can bring up your advanced view performance tabs. You can limit frame rate. You can limit the TDP. The scaling filters with FSR and stuff is phenomenal as well. It's so awesome to be able to do all that stuff. You've got quick settings there, your friends tabs, and UI-wise, everything is great. Now, there are a ton of games to be played on this device. I'm not going to boot any. I just want to talk to you about my average performance with games that are in my library and that I've got installed. You can check out many videos on my channel with me testing various different titles. I've tested everything from Doom to Dying Light to Elden Ring to Skyrim to Fallout. There we go. Nice row there of different types of games. They're all AAA, actually, in fact. But overall, performance has been fantastic. There has been so many games that I've actually been able to run at 60 FPS. I was kind of, when I bought this, because I'm so used to having Nintendo products, I honestly thought, right, we're going to get a lot of 30 FPS games, but we're going to be able to play some of the bigger games like Elden Ring at the start. But no, there are games that are running 60 FPS. Dying Light, a game obviously that's on Switch, 60 FPS on this. Check out my video. Doom, 60 FPS. Skyrim, 60 FPS. Elden Ring is like 30s to 40s, but very playable and a very stable 30. Fallout, 60 FPS. Firewatch, 60 FPS. Forza's very buggy, to be honest with you. Ghost Runner, 60 FPS. Lego Star Wars, buggy, but actually there is a way of getting it to work, and that's something that I want to talk about in something that I dislike on the Steam Deck. You actually go into your settings, properties, and then compatibility, and you can use a Proton compatibility tool that you have to install by going into desktop mode, and that is something I want to talk about in my full review and complaints video, because I feel like things should be easier and managed better in that regard. Shadow of Mordor, 60 FPS, Outlast, 60 FPS, all Naruto games, 60 FPS, Portal, 60 FPS, Portal 2, 60 FPS, Red Dead Redemption, 60 FPS if you drop the settings low enough. I don't recommend necessarily doing that. If you're only playing like me sometimes at work for an hour on your lunch break, 100% pump it up to 60 FPS and enjoy that. I need to do a test on that game actually, but honestly, Red Dead 2 on the go, even at 30 FPS, full stop, is insane. This game looks gorgeous on this device. I'm in love with it. Honestly, this thing is so good, and I'm still so excited about it, despite me having it for a month, and that is going to carry on because there's so many games I need to get through. Rise, Son of Rome, I actually bought this because it was on offer and recommended to me on the Steam homepage as a game. I got it for like £1, and it was, you know, apparently it runs perfectly on Steam Deck, so I'm excited to play that. Witcher 3, 60 FPS, and another one I'm desperately trying to dive into once I've finished Lego Star Wars, but that's kind of it. That's what I've been testing. I've been playing games, testing games, enjoying various different things on this device, and I've fallen in love with it to the point where in the evening I actually sit in bed, and rather than use my 4K gaming PC that's plugged into my, you know, my 4K TV obviously with a 3080 in it, I actually sit in bed with this thing playing Lego Star Wars while listening to a podcast, because I know the story of Lego Star Wars. I played them all before. I know they're slightly different in the Skywalker saga, but the point is I know what's going on. I have subtitles on, I can read stuff, and I kind of put a podcast in the background when I'm playing some games that I don't need to fully pay attention to, and it's been great. Like, I've been able to just sit in bed and relax so comfortably with this amazing device in my hand. Like, it feels so good, as I've said, and yeah, I love it. There's not enough bad things that I can really talk about. There's just not much there, but I do want to do a video talking about some of the bugs, as I've said, and to talk about battery life. Like, it's not really been an issue for me. From my personal use cases, which I can only give my personal use cases, obviously you guys out there will have different use cases to me, but I use this a lot sitting in my bed, and also when I'm at work on my lunch break, and I'm able to take this to work from charging it overnight, play on my lunch break. It'll take it, you know, if I play for an hour on like Lego Star Wars, take it down to like 85%. Then I get home, it's probably on like 83, because it obviously battery drains when you're not using the device as well. And then I play in the evening for like an hour plus, and I still got some battery life left. And then if I just need to charge it while I'm sitting in bed playing a game, it's not a problem. You just got your, you know, you've got your USB-C at the top, and it's phenomenal. Yeah, that's as much as I can really say about it right now from the use cases I've had over the last month. And I do plan on, you know, getting the dock for this thing, doing, you know, loads of tests on this thing as a desktop PC as well, and kind of just testing out various different ways of using this device, because I know it's not just one way. But if I've not mentioned anything, please don't get mad at me, and you know, just wait, because I will talk about more in the future on this device, because I haven't necessarily tested that thing that you're requesting, and I will go into more detail once I've had even more time with this device, because I do work full time, and it's not my job to do this. I do this as something that I enjoy on the side. This is something part of my hobby and my fun, that I enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So please do leave a like. Please do subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this stuff. Streams on the gaming channel, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and please do go check that out. It's there'll be a link in the description, so check out my other channels. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.